Alright, so let's finish up the electronics. Oh, and I did an upgrade here. Here was the first motor mount that I had, and it was just kind of too thin. The bottom plate was too thin. This is what I use on my 1 pound bot, and that's fine for a 1 pound, but this is a 3 pound, so it's going to get a lot more jostled around, and the hits are going to be harder and stuff like that. So I printed this much bulkier piece. It's twice the thickness in almost every dimension. And also, one thing I was missing was I had nothing blocking the electronics from falling into the weapon bar. So now I added this piece that's going to divide the two. And also, there was another thing. There was nothing blocking, because this is an outrunner motor, I believe it's called, where the outside spins. And I was having no way of blocking the wires and electronics and stuff from getting wrapped into this. So I added this box around the motor as well. So that should help a lot too. One thing I did forget to do is I was going to add the FingerTech switch on here too, but I totally spaced it. So I'll have to figure out another way to mount this later on. There's 2 screw holes, so I'll probably just do that. Alright, so one thing we need to do is add in our indicator light. We're going to use that right there. And then we're also going to shorten these switches here. I need to remove them actually, and then just solder the 2 wires together like that. So let's start doing that. I got switches for later on. So let's strip this wire here that we're going to connect together. Barely left enough room to do that. Let's leave a little bit more on this one. Now I'll reduce a couple grams of weight as well. Okay, let's see if we can do these ones a little better. No, at least not with this tool. That's alright, it's fine. Wrap those up. Oh, let's get the iron plugged in. Turned on. Oh, if you're ever in Petaluma, California, here's my buddy's store. It's called XLRC. He's a great guy. He'll give you very good deals, and he's very interactive with you. He won't just sell you something and send you out the door. It's a great store. So please check it out if you go to Petaluma, California, and you're just looking to see what they got. It's a great store. All right, so we're going to use this wire here to attach our lights, our little lights here. These are those 12-volt lights, light strips. Strip that wire there. Strip these wires. These are going to be for the, whoa, got a little crazy there. Got a little aggressive on that right there. You know, that's alright though, because I do want a nice big section for this to connect to. To the switch, seeing there's such big poles, might as well put a good amount of solder on there. Let's see what else we can do while we're waiting for that to heat up. Okay, and also we're going to add in the switch into this positive here, so let's do that. Let's cut that in half. Strip that wire. Strip that wire. That's ready to go. Oh, and I found out why my transmitter and receiver weren't binding right away. I had it on the wrong model. When I switched it to the right model, it instantly bound up. And also, I have a weapon kill switch now too, which I already had set up on there. So that'll get you in trouble in a competition. You got to make sure you have the right model on your transmitter set. Okay, let's zoom this out a bit so you can see a little better. There we go. I find myself keep getting out of camera. Alright, our iron's heated up. We'll start tinning all these wires, getting them ready. I keep using this stuff right here. You're probably wondering what this is. This is a tip tinner and cleaner. It works very well for just putting a little bit of something on there for the solder to stick to so easily. And that's why it collects it so fast. There we go, tinned up. There we go. Now let's do these wires. Alright, let's get these little guys tinned up as well. This is for our light switch. We can twist these together and solder these now, so our little ESCs are always on, because we're going to use our finger tech switch to turn everything on at once. No longer need that. There we go. That's soldered up. Here, I do need to strip these a little better. These are fairly small. There we go, that wasn't too hard. Nice silicone wire, you can strip it with your fingernails. Something I'm liking about these cheap ESCs right here is they got really good silicone wire. There we go, we're going to twist those up. And now put some solder on there so it's together. There we go. That was quick. So those ESCs are actually done. Set those to the side. And let's get this light strips with soldered up here. Trying to grab it with this, it's not grabbing it. There we go. So we'll use the green wire as our positive. Don't want to put that way over there. There we go. Black wire is our negative. There we go. And I'll hot glue over those pads and those pads right there to make sure that we don't get a short in the bot. Alright, might as well do this real quick. So we're going to solder our light switch on our ESC here. Or sorry, our light indicator. just onto our existing pads with positive and negative feeding in from the battery. There we go. There's a negative. Let's get our positive wire on there. A little more solder. And we knocked off our connection there. It's a problem with trying to add a wire to a wire. You really should just do them at the same time if you can. But I wasn't thinking. There we go. Alright. So now we got lights. When our baud is on, that light will turn on. It's just a white light. I've been wanting to get some different colors, but I just don't have any at the moment. Alright, so the ESC is done for adding wires. Got kind of a little bit of extra solder on there, take that off. We got another bit of shrink to put on there. We'll do that a little bit. Alright, so last thing we need to do is solder up the switch and put it in line to the to the battery cable here. Alright, so let's tin this up. There we go. That looks good. So with the switch, you don't really have to have a correct polarity. It just needs to go in one side and out the other. So I'm going to use red as my in and black as my out, just because that's what I got available. I do that with all my switches that I don't have enough, like just red. Oh, I gotta hold this while we're doing this. There we go. To a black wire on the other side. I'll switch this around so I can hold it down. There we go. It is. Now that fingerstick switch is ready to go. Now I want to put some shrink over these before I close it up here. And let me turn this off. Alright, so now let's put some shrink on here. Shrink tube, heat shrink, whatever you want to call it. I've been being lazy and just calling it shrink for some reason. It's alright though. You guys won't judge me, right? And let me cut this in half there. There we go. Perfect. That's all I got. Just the amount I need. I will make that safe inside the bot. Now let's hold on to this. We need an extra piece that goes on that as well. Don't forget that. There we go, that's nice and soldered. So now let's do the out going into the actual bot. That was into the, from the battery. Put our piece of shrink on there. Heat shrink. Try not to block it when I do this so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. Now we got our fingertip switch added into the circuit. And that's pretty much it, what we're doing today. Now I just need to go back through here and heat up these on all the bare wires. Put some heat shrink on here to cover those up. And I'm gonna add some hot glue to right there. Or maybe I can just add a little bit of shrink on, heat shrink on there. Yeah, that looked nicer. All right, so that's it for right now. I'll be back in a little bit with some more stuff. Here's just a little quick tip that I'm using here. First off, here's the top plate done with covered in polycarbonate. And so the way I got those holes, like I just taped this to it and drilled it out using the 3D print as a guide. So seeing I didn't want to, can't really drill holes from the main chassis that I did. What I did was I just printed out a 1mm single layer of the bottom plate and taped it to it and used it as a guide to drill the holes. So there's the holes for it. Alright, so I'm 3D printing some Tpu Shock Absorbers. These are going to go in between the Lexan plate and the body of the robot, so this will hopefully absorb some of the impact. Alright, so here's my TPU pieces that I printed out. I got 2 side panels and a back panel and 2 plugs that go over the nuts to keep them protected and also give me more of a way to tip over if I get on the side so I don't do that thing. Here is the way I have this is it's a little bit thicker on the end here, and this is where you'll be getting most of the impacts because I never run from an opponent, I always face them anyway. So hopefully this is kind of squishy so it will reduce a lot of the impact damage. So yeah, so that's basically it for my TPU printed pieces. And now I need to cut the pieces of Lexan that are going to go on here and onto this part. So now I'm 3D printing some really cheap PLA that I got for like $9 or a pound roll or something, or 2 pound roll. It's going to be a stencil so I can cut my pieces of Lexan out and also get my holes lined up properly.